Okay, should we start to talk about the quiche?
Let's dive in.
Perfect. So first of all, bonsoir. My name is Marie, and I'm a guide at my private Paris. And if you know me already, you can put that on the chat and say hello. And tonight, so this evening, because we're already almost at night in Paris, I will be with Lola, which is a wonderful guide as well for my private Paris, but she's also a food expert. She has a really great blog about all the best addresses in Paris, such as restaurants or food stalls. You can also follow her on Instagram. So I will let Lola present herself a little bit more.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lola. As Mary said, I'm also a tour guide for My Great Paris. I also love food in general, cooking, baking, eating, most importantly. And if you want to follow a little bit of my Parisian adventure, you can follow me on my Instagram, Lola the Hungry Parisian, or on my blog, The Hungry Parisian.
So tonight we decided to do something very, very French, a quiche. And so I would love also to know if for some of you, is it the premiere? Is that your very first quiche ever? And if it is, we will see if we can teach you something great. And if it's not your first quiche, then maybe you can give us also some advices. That would be really nice of you. And so we decided to do two different recipes tonight as the quiche can be a variation of so many things, but of course we have the traditional with Lola, and she will present what is a quiche Lorraine.
So yeah, today I'm going to do the quiche Lorraine, which is one of the most famous quiches in the world. It's quite simple to make, but we're going to do the dough from scratch. So that's going to take it a level up. And what about you, Marie?
So on my side, because I don't eat meat, for some of you who knows, so I decided to do a vegetarian quiche, but I will add cheese because in the traditional recipe, if I'm not wrong, there is no cheese in the quiche Lorraine, and I'm obsessed with cheese. And so I will do vegetable and cheese, and I will present you all the ingredients one by one a little bit in a minute. So we just be sure that everyone is well settled in front of their screen and ready to go.
All right, perfect.
So I will let Lola. Yes.
All right, so for our dough, we're going to start with something very simple. We're going to do a pâte brisée. So we're going to need some flour. That's 300 grams or about 2 cups. Then we're also going to be needing some room temperature butter. I have here 150 grams of butter, which is roughly the equivalent of 5 ounces. So it's a little bit over 1 stick of butter. You really want the butter to be room temp because otherwise it's going to be very, very complicated to use it. Also, we're going to use some salt and a little bit of water for the dough. And for the quiche itself, it's going to be super simple. We basically need 4 eggs, about 150 grams of bacon bits. We call them lardons in French. So 150 grams is like 2/3 of a cup, roughly. And you also want about 250 grams of heavy cream, or crème fraîche if you're in France. 250 grams, that's roughly 1 cup. So that's all the ingredients for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Lola. So because you're the bravest of us two, you're going to do the dough, as I will do something a bit more simple. For the dough, I actually bought already a pre-made dough. So pâte brisée, so there's butter already inside this dough. And so I won't do that because I have a lot of work with the vegetables. So that's why I'm going to, take a bit of time more to do the vegetable and not to do the dough tonight. So for the vegetable, I choose tonight some mushrooms here and also some carrots and broccoli, but you can really do with anything. Just before this video, I put those in the boiling water just to blanch them. So that way they will be easier after that to be cooked and and also in the quiche itself, it's gonna be better, you know, at the end. So that's just what I did before, and I did preheat my oven at so the 7. So in France, it's 180 Celsius, and I think, if I'm not wrong, that is about 360 Fahrenheit. If I'm not right on that one, please put something on the comments so we know, because the conversion sometimes is not easy for French people. So that's just what I did before, and of course I will add my favorite cheese, which is Comté. So I will put that inside with the eggs and the fresh cream, because I'm going to have kind of the same as Lola. But also I'm going to put a little bit on the top of the quiche at the end. So it's going to be kind of a gratiné on the top. So you will see it's going to be quite delicious.
That sounds delicious indeed.
So maybe you can now focus on the work of Lola, as I'm just going to cut some mushrooms. So it's not going to be, you know, that exciting. Maybe it's better for you to learn with Lola how to make a dough now. But I'd be there. So so I'll let you do your work.
All right. So guys, so as I was telling you, we're going to be making the pâte brisée together. So we're going to start by mixing our 300 grams of flour, which is, as I was telling you, 2 cups of flour. So you put that inside of your bigger bowl. And then you want to add about 1 teaspoon of salt. And after that, we're going to be adding our room temperature butter. Here I have a mix of salted and unsalted butter. It's just what I had on hand. As you know, Paris is in lockdown right now, so I didn't want to go out just for a stick of butter. So that's why you're basically getting what I had in my pantry. So as you can see, I pre-cut the butter just to make sure that it's going to be easier to incorporate inside my flour. So basically, just gonna put everything in, and then you want to be using your finger to basically massage the flour inside the butter, and you want to have the sort of texture a little bit like couscous grains. Don't know if that makes sense. So just want to use the tip of your fingers. The goal is also to make sure you don't eat up the butter too much, because you don't want it to be completely melted. Otherwise, well, your dough is not going to come together at all. So just a little bit.
Lola, I'm sorry to interrupt. We just have a little question concerning the bacon that you just show. Is it pre-cooked?
Yeah, indeed. I pre-cooked it because it has quite a lot of fat in it. So the problem is that if you don't pre-cook it, the fat is going to go right inside of the batter, and it may end up feeling a little bit heavy. You want to pre-cook it well long enough before you start cooking, so that it has time to cool down, because as you have seen, there is a lot of butter in the dough, and if you have bacon that is just a little bit too hot, it's going to start melting the butter inside the dough.
Thank you.
Needs a little bit more work. I don't know if you have your hands a little bit chapped because of over cleaning your hands, but the butter and flour is very good. You're going to get a lot of moisturization from that.
On my side, I already chopped a lot of mushrooms, and I'm going to do the carrots now and the broccoli. So all chopped in very tiny bits. So it's going to melt easiest in the quiche. So like I said, for the vegetable, you can just take whatever you like. You don't have to take those vegetables. They are seasonal, so I choose them. I also like the colors together. It's like the Italian flag, so why not?
Very pretty.
So we will see that. And so for the kids, it's also a good way to make them eat vegetables if they're not really big fans of broccoli, which is usually the case, because this will go with a lot of cream, a lot of butter, and a lot of cheese. So of course they will eat it. That's also a good way to eat vegetable when you're not big fans of them. Okay, so I'm done with my carrots. How are you doing on your dough?
It's coming together. I don't know if you guys can see. It looks very, very crumbly in texture. That's what you want to do. Making sure you don't have too many big lumps like this one. That's why I'm going to work it a little bit longer.
How much butter do you put in the crusts?
I put 150 grams, which is a little bit above a stick of butter, or 5 ounces.
Okay.
That's quite a lot, but you know, butter is love.
So Bertrand say that he loves broccoli, so that's for you. Okay, so are we alone here cooking, or is there actually people doing that with us right now? I just want to know. Please put that on the comment. So I'm done with the carrot now, and I continue chopping some broccoli.
All right, guys. So as you can see, my dough is becoming a little bit more friable, a little bit like couscous, as I was telling you. And what we want to do is add a little bit of water into it. I'm going to be very gentle. We just want the dough to form, basically to be able to be shaped, but we don't want too much water that it's going to be, well, completely wet, and we have to add more flour, because otherwise it's going to start tasting a little bit strange. So as you can see, I can start molding it, but there are still some bits that are falling down, so I'm going to add a little bit more water.
So Lola, so just to be clear, so it's just flour, butter, and salt with water, right? That's the
exactly.
dough.
Okay. Yeah, the pâte brisée is a very simple dough to make, and if you want to use it for a dessert, you can add a little bit of sugar inside.
Okay, perfect. I think I'm good with my broccoli now. So Bertrand, you're going to be happy. Okay. So, whoop. Here we are. Okay. So you're going to finish your crust. I'm going to also put mine. So for those who never actually cooked that before. So what you have to do before you put that in the oven is just to do like little holes. So I do that with my fork. Some people, they also add on it what we call ceramic bowls. I think that's how I say, but you can put beans also. The idea is for the crust to not get too high in the oven and to get like a bump. So to remain flat, that will be, I don't know if you see that, my little holes. Yeah. So I'm going to put that now in the oven. So I do that. Some people, they put it, and probably Lola, that's what you're going to do. They put the crust without, directly with everything on it. I prefer the crust to be really crusty. So I just preheat it with nothing on it, and then I will add all my stuff. But also, I don't want everything to be too moist, so, and to just like run away. So I will pre-cook my vegetable. That's where at the end, it's only the eggs and the cream that will cook at the very end. So that's what I'm gonna do now. So let's see if it's good enough. Maybe I'm gonna move you here with me.
All right, so I think we should be all right for our dough. You can see it's shaped as a big bowl right now. So I'm just going to put it in a smaller container so that we have a bit more room to spread it. So I already prepared parchment paper so that it's easier to put my dough inside my dish afterwards. I'm going to use just a little bit of flour to make sure that it doesn't stick too much. And we're going to use a rolling pin. Just put a bit of flour on that one as well.
You're here. I can see that.
You know, this is actually my grandmother's rolling pin.
That's great. I love it.
So it might be a little bit easier if you start by flattening the dough a little bit with your hands, because the pâte brisée is a little bit crumbly. And if you start with a rolling pin right away, everything is going to fall down. Up. All right.
You can feel the love when you're doing it. I'm here. No, really.
That's the butter.
I'm already excited to eat mine, but I know it's not going to be yours. So there is that.
After the lockdown, I can bring you a quiche.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we should do that. At the end of the lockdown, we should go to, each other's house and just like share that. Okay, so now that you're gonna continue with crust, I'm just gonna prepare my vegetables. So very easy, I'm gonna do a poêlée. So in a pan, just a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion at first, and then just put my vegetable and some pepper, some salt, a bit of herbs. Depending on what you like, you can just put everything you have in mind. I will add a bit of paprika and some herbe de Provence. So from Provence region. I don't know if some of you know Provence in the south of France. Is where the lavender fields are. Just the most beautiful place after Paris, of course. And maybe Bertrand will say Basque and maybe Alex will say Dordogne, but anyway, Provence is just marvelous. So you have to get there. So just gonna put a bit of oil in here and garlic and onions, and then we're gonna do our little saute of vegetables. You okay on your side, Lola? Doing well?
Okay, yeah. I'm just going to take my pan for cooking my quiche and make sure that it's the dough that I rolled out is big enough. So yeah, I feel like every family in France has like this very old school pans for quiche that have like so many dents in it. Is that the case for you? So yeah, this one is actually one of the first things that we bought when we moved in together with my boyfriend, because quiche was the thing that was so easy and cheap to do as well as students. Yeah. All right, so we're going to start putting this little baby inside. So yeah, don't worry if some parts of your quiche falls. The good thing is that there is so much butter, you can just reshape it afterwards, basically.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Thank you.
Can you smell my onions now? It's gonna be good.
Start smelling good on your side?
Yeah. So I just put a bit of oil, garlic, onion, salt and pepper, and a bit of herb. What I learned in India is that it's better to put all the spices at first in the fat, in that case in the olive oil, and not at the end. So that's what I do. I don't know if in the traditional French cooking is the same way. I assume so. But yeah, so when I cook, I always put first the spices, and also it's going to mix with the onions, so they're going to absorb all the tastes, and then it's going to be good for the vegetable after.
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea, because this way your spices are going to be a bit more potent inside your preparation.
So despite my little hole, I'm going to show you. I do have a bump in my, I don't know if you can see it actually, but there is a bump. It's okay, it's fine. I'm just going to have to do another hole. It's just I didn't put my beans because I don't have any. So, yeah.
All right, so yeah, as you can see, guys, I'm just taking out all of the pieces that are a little bit too much for my dough. I'm putting them on the side because you can do a lot of things afterwards with them. You can do a mini quiche if you want, or you can, even just put a little bit of sugar in it and just cook them in your oven, and you have like little cookies. Most important thing is that you don't throw it out, because that's food and we don't want to be wasting any food.
I see that Teresa is a big fan of Provence. Yeah.
Voila. So
you're gonna put the rest of the dough on your bowl. I can see that. Oh, maybe your cat will have it. I see your cat on the side.
Yeah, she's very interested because she really, really loves butter. So whenever I'm cooking with butter, she's always very happy.
Oh, you lived in Arles, Teresa. Wow. Okay, so you probably know much better about herbe de Provence than I do. That's awesome.
All right, I'm going to use my knife that I use for the butter to make little holes in the dough like Marie just told you. Even if I'm going to be cooking the dough at the same time as the rest of my ingredients, you want to make sure you have those little holes because otherwise the dough is going to start rising and basically you risk everything coming out. All right.
Little onions right now.
I'm sure it's passionate. Oh, it's beautiful.
Pretty nice, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
All right.
Okay.
So where are you on your vegetables?
So yeah, right now. So this is where I am right now. So I do have a little bit of vegetable chopped here, and I'm just gonna add them here in the pan. Quite simple. Not gonna pork like Lola just did, but it's gonna be good at the end. So yeah, so just a bit sauté. So I love butter, but I also love olive oil. So if you see me doing that, it's okay. You know, don't worry for my health. This is really good actually for your health. So. But I just love olive oil. I was about to put some white wine also in my vegetable, but I don't know. Should I? I mean, let me know what you think.
All right. So while you finish your vegetable, I think I'm going to move on to what we call l'appareil, which is actually what you put inside of the quiche. So yeah, as I was telling you, the bacon bits are already cooked. In France, we call them the lardons. And do you know that it's also a name that we give little kids when they're not behaving well? So yeah, that's probably not something you want to put in your quiche, little kids, though. But you want to put those little bacon bits. So we're going to do that later. We're just going to put them on the side for now. And for your quiche, what you want to do is start with the eggs. So we have 4 eggs here. So we're just going to put them inside of our bowl. 1. 2. 3.
So the oven is on my side is 180 Celsius. I think it's in Fahrenheit is 370. I just maybe I should have checked that before, but I think it's 370 on your side. It's number 667 on my oven. So
yeah, same here.
Well, apparently they want me to put some white wine in my vegetables, so I have to. I mean, I don't have a choice. So I will. So, and actually I do have a bottle that is good. So this is a natural wine because I do love organic wine. This is a white, so this is from Burgundy, I think. Yeah, so let's see. I need them to be prepared a bit more. So in a few minutes, I will add a bit of wine into them. Also, I like, if you don't have wine, the good thing is to put a bit of vinegar. I love to put a bit of balsamic vinegar into the vegetable. It just gives a kick to the vegetable, so I like it personally. This little acidity that you can add, that's great. We all know you're having a glass of wine when cooking. Oh yes, that's a very good idea actually. I should have a, okay. Maybe I'm gonna get a Riesling then, because I'm going to add this right now, so, okay. You're right, that's one.
All right, so guys, as you see, I've just finished whisking the eggs together, and I'm going to add the crème fraîche, the heavy cream, which is 250 grams, which is about 1 big cup of heavy cream. I'm just gonna put that in.
Okay, I'm gonna take myself a glass of wine. Is that okay with you, Lola?
Be my guest. Let's actually.
Are you at one point, or I'm alone to drink here? You get a glass? Okay, I'm coming back. So this one is for you, Bertrand. You like broccoli, you like wine, so I decided to have this, which is Alsatian wine, and I think Alsace and Lorraine are not very far, right? Can you tell us more?
Right. Exactly.
Lorraine?
So yeah, the Alsace-Lorraine is a pretty big region, which is actually close to the border with Germany. That's the region also where you have Strasbourg and Nancy, for example. So quite a lot of people know about it because, well, it's basically at the roots of World War I. So I think it's a better thing that we remember it for nicer things like quiche and Riesling, for example. So what wine are you having? You say it's from Alsace?
Yeah, so this one is a Riesling. So it's a white. So cheers to, I don't know if it's too early in United States. Here it's 7:40 in France. So it's good time for having a glass. So cheers.
Cheers to you. All right, guys. So I'm just adding salt and pepper to my dough. And I want to add a little bit of nutmeg, muscade in French. That's not in the traditional recipe, but I think it goes really, really well inside. So just a little dash. And then, once again, whisking everything together. Oh my God, the spices start smelling so good.
So mine is ready for the next step. I'm just trying to find a way to show you that.
Well, it's just a little bit yellowish, not too cooked because it's gonna cook again when the vegetable will be on it. So I don't want that to be too heated. And my vegetables are almost ready. So I'm just gonna add a bit of wine, and then I'm gonna do the same appareil as Lola. So with egg, cream, and I'm gonna add some cheese. I will show you. But I will let, yeah, Lola, you can go on.
All right. So guys, now our bacon is going back into the plate. So what you want to do is spread your bacon on the dough directly. My advice is put the bacon first before you put the eggs and cream mixture, because otherwise you're going to have quite a lot of trouble spreading everything properly. Let's be honest, a slice of quiche without any bacon in it is very sad. All right, so let me make sure that there's going to be bacon for everyone. Okay, and then you want to add a mixture all over it.
How much cream? There is a long line of people who wants to know how much cream.
I put 250 grams, which is about 1 big cup of cream.
Okay. Perfect. So that's for the cream. And also people are asking me how long, or maybe also, yeah, how long do I cook the crust? Just look at it. I did it like maybe 5 or 6 times. Just look at it, and whenever you feel like it's like I say, it's getting yellowish and having just it's like a cookie that is not exactly done. I'm just going with the color, but you can do that with the time. Can you see that some parts are still kind of white, but just here it's just a little bit getting a bit brownish? That's enough. Basically, the idea is if you can do this is good. That's in my opinion. So that means you can really lift it. It's holding, and but it's not too cooked. So that's the idea, to me.
All right, so I'm going to put mine in the oven. Mine is going to cook a little bit longer than Mary's, simply because I did not pre-cook the dough. So once again, my oven is also set at 180 degrees, which Celsius, obviously, which is 370 degrees Fahrenheit from what Mary told me. So we're going to take the dough. Be careful because the appareil, the egg and cream mixture is, well, you know, quite liquid. So you want to put that into your oven. Up. And we're going to set the timer for 25 minutes. It might need a little bit longer, but what I wanted to do is to make sure that it does not overcook. I would rather, you know, put 5 more minutes, making sure that it's perfect. rather than for it to be just, you know, a little bit dry and burnt. All right, so I'm going to be waiting for your question, guys. Come back with me.
I'm gonna do my appareil as well, Lola. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so for mine, I will do 2 to 3 eggs, so depending on, you know, how much density you want in your quiche, if you want it thinner or thicker. So in my case, I will do 3 eggs. So that's very easy. So I'm going to just start with this, doing the same amount of cream as Lola. It just, in mine, I will also add some ciboulette, so some cheese, chives. That's chives, right? Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to add that also in the appareil, and some Comté that I already, you see, short here. And so I will mix that. So that's going to be my appareil. So pretty easy. So Lola, you go.
It's good that you're using Comté. I like it.
Yeah, that's my favorite cheese.
So yeah, so guys, just so you know a little bit more about different quiche, you know, the quiche is actually a pretty old recipe. Actually, the first mention of a quiche is at the hospital in Nancy in 1605. So that's beginning of the 17th century. So we've had quiche before we had the French Revolution. So that's pretty nice. Did you know quiche were that old, Marie?
No, actually, no. I'm eating that since I'm a little girl, but I don't know much about the history of cheese, so thank you. Okay, you're telling me appareil, is that the proper word? I think so, right? I mean, this is the word we use when we do the appareil for a pie or for a quiche. This is, yeah, the mix we're going to use. That's what we call appareil.
Exactly, yeah. Basically, this mixture of cream and egg, we call it appareil. It's basically anything liquid that you're going to pour. So it's the same if you do, for example, a tart or something like that. So yeah, but even the name quiche, it tells you quite a lot about it because it comes from the word Kuchen. In German, that's the cake. But also, as I was telling you, Lorraine is very, very close to Germany. And obviously, they have quite a lot of the dialect that is the same. So this word Kuchen was turned into Küchen, which was turned afterward into the quiche. And actually, the quiche, you know, today, I don't know, when do you eat a quiche usually, Marie?
When do I eat a quiche? I will say more for lunch probably, but what do you say, where or when?
Whatever, like where and when.
So yeah, probably more for lunch and from a good bistro, because that's kind of the typical thing we can find in a bistro. But I'd be sure that it's organic or homemade, because there is a lot of quiche that are, you know, from the frozen, I don't know, whatever, Picard, that is a brand. Food. So, and I don't like that much, so I will prefer a fresh, good one. So, yeah.
Yeah. But, you know, for me, yes, sorry, you were saying?
You know, I'm just, how much Comté cheese? A lot. Like here. No, I don't know many grams, but so the idea is for me, for example, in this bowl, I just had like a full hand of Comté in my quiche because I just love it. So in proportion, I will say maybe 150, maybe 200 grams max. Yeah, I think that would be it. So just for the question of the Comté. But you know, you can put whatever quantity, it's always very good. And it's going to be a quiche au fromage at the end, so why not? So yeah, what about you, Lola? What is your favorite place in Paris, maybe, to have a quiche? Do you know one place where they do them?
Well, I like getting quiche at Le Nemours, which is this little cafe next to the Louvre. They also make really good sandwiches, you know, so it's pretty nice for all of those easy to eat little bites. But I also like making quiches at home quite a lot because that's basically my dump dinner, you know, whenever I have I don't know, leftovers from a poêlée of vegetables like you were doing, I usually just throw them in a quiche because I know it's going to make a whole new dinner.
Ah, I see. So I'm just going to go on with my preparation. Is that good? Because yours is already in the oven, right? So I need to catch up. Okay, so I have now, so I'm going to show you. So I have now my crust and my vegetables here, and over there, oops, my appareil with a bit of chive. And So the idea for me, that will be enough if you want to do it like that way. If you do have a little bit of sauce, such as a pesto at home, I just love to, first of everything, just put a bit of, so in my case it's pesto, but that could be a bit of mustard maybe, or even tomato sauce, why not? But just to have just a little thin layer on your crust, I will show you, to have just something to, I don't know, have a pinch of salt and taste. So in my case, I love pesto because Provence again. So I don't have the time to do my pesto myself with basil and Parmigiano. So I just buy them, you know, like that, but it's really good. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take a little bit of it and cover the bottom of my pie. I will show you. And then I'm gonna put the vegetable, and then I will cover it with my appareil. So, yeah. How long for your quiche to be done, Lola? So I can be on the good time with you?
About 20 minutes. So I think it's going to be perfect with yours. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite the same. So yeah, it's very easy to make a quiche. So
that's a very good idea to add something at the bottom of your quiche.
Yeah, it just to make, I don't know, I love it. It's just, I love pesto. And when I don't have it, I just put a bit of mustard and not too much. It's not the idea is not to cover the taste, but it's just, yeah, giving a bit more flavor to it. So in that case, it's going to be just like that. So you just a little bit, like it's not covering, it's not. Then I'm going to put my beautiful vegetable on it. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to put that here. Okay. I'm not
I don't have the smell, but it looks amazing.
Yeah, but it's just, I love it because it's so colorful. So that's why I choose those vegetables, because they go very well together. And to be very honest, like just the broccoli itself, just, you know, water and salt, not a big fan. So that's why I was telling you I love when it's just mixed with some other things. So here we go. Let's look already like this. Just gonna show you this. Okay. And on it, I'm just gonna add this on the top. So a bit of, there we go. So the Comté will melt in that one. Here. So it does look like, well, in this case, it's going to be quite thin, but I like it that way. I mean, it's not going to be the thick quiche like yours. You know, if you can see it. You can see. Here we go. Okay, so now it's ready to go. I just have a little bit more Comté. I'm probably going to put more. I'm going to keep that for the end. First, I'm going to put that into the oven, and then just at the end, I'm going to put that and put gratiné like really hard, like really high. So to have just this little taste, aftertaste. So I'm going to put that. So I let you ask us any question you have. Some people say that looks good. Yeah. Thank you. So yeah, so what do you think we should eat before or after a quiche? Because how do you pair that in your opinion?
Well, I would say I usually eat my quiche with a salad. I don't know if I would eat anything before. Do you usually eat something before your quiche?
I don't know. What do you think? No, probably not. You're right. I mean, it's just like the one quiche is enough for one slice of it is enough. But like just green salad with a bit of vinaigrette.
Yeah, balsamic vinegar. I'm a big fan. And just a little bit of salt on top. Okay. Usually, you know, the quiche already has a lot of taste, so I don't want to be overpowered by what is next to it.
Okay. And what do you think after? I mean, we had already egg, and in my case, it's going to be cheese. So do you think we're going to be, you know, having a dessert after that?
I mean, you know, I'm always here for desserts. The good thing with the quiche is that it's pretty filling. So maybe I won't go for something too heavy, you know, even if I'm a pretty big fan of flan or éclair au chocolat. I'm probably going to go for something a little bit more simple, you know, like a strawberry tart or something like that. What about you?
Yeah, I was thinking the same because the quiches always make me think about a pie. Like this, it's the same, you know, same idea, same crust. So I will probably, yeah, go for another slice of something. So like you say, something not too rich, maybe, yeah, something not too buttery or just something light. So, okay, so let's see. Suzanne is telling that she's a little bit confused. Because the French, yeah, the crème fraîche, I think that the taste more like sour cream or yogurt. Okay, so what do we think about that? So is it better to have crème fraîche or what you call the heavy cream? I think when you think about crème fraîche, Suzanne, you're thinking about something more liquid, maybe, because you say like sour cream. I don't really know what is the crème fraîche that you have in US, but basically something that is just fat, not not with sour, not really with sour taste. What do you think, Lola?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. For me, I like using crème fraîche because it allows it to be, you know, a little bit decadent and heavy. I mean, we're talking about quiche, you know, anyway. But I know some people use more yogurt or sour cream into it. It really depends what you prefer. For me, I feel like crème fraîche is the way to go, just because, I mean, we're in France and we have pretty amazing and good quality crème fraîche.
Okay, I see where the confusion is coming because Suzanne is saying, but is it like yogurt? So no. So crème fraîche, it's not like a yogurt. It's let's say no. It's just a way of saying cream, really. I mean, it's just when we say fresh, it's just because it's hard to find crème fraîche. Yeah. So what would be the good ingredient to replace it with? I mean, they use milk, right? Like yeah, creamy milk, but I don't know if you can do that because it needs to be pretty fat and thick and not too liquid. So can we replace that with yogurt? Maybe. Oh, I mean, you could do maybe mascarpone. Can we do that?
Oh yeah, that would be a good idea. It would be a little bit cheesier, I guess, because since mascarpone is a little bit heavier, or maybe with ricotta, even if you want to have a taste that is a little bit different, maybe use a little bit of milk just to make sure that it's liquid enough. But to be honest, it's going to be the egg that are going to make like the most of the appareil, and that is going to make it like really stick together. So yeah, you can use basically any fancy milk product that you like.
Nothing too sour, I think, no, because it's going to be, if it's too sour, maybe it's going to be weird. I have another option, but that's more for vegetarians. And I don't know if you know that in the US, maybe you can tell me. It's a type of tofu that is kind of soft. It's a soft tofu, and that's actually very good with quiche because it's exactly the good consistency that you're looking for. But heavy cream works well, Teresa is saying. It's like what you use for whipped cream. Mascarpone sounds amazing. Okay, yeah, well, we will see. We can try. Next time we can try with something that is not our crème fraîche, which apparently it's hard to find in US. And sorry, guys, you have to, we can send some maybe.
We do a traffic of crème fraîche.
Traffic in between us. That would be great. Okay, let me check how we're doing here. Going pretty well. The Conte is melting.
Nice.
Oh, and it's smelling very, very good. Okay, so is some of you are cooking or you're just watching here? Clotted cream. Okay, that could be.
Clotted cream might be a little bit heavy. I don't know if it would work.
If you put a little bit and with milk and you just make that to delay it, that could work. So
yeah, definitely then.
That could work, definitely. So yeah, so how are you doing on your side? Do you know?
I think we have about 10 minutes left on our side, so it's going to be cooked very soon. So we're going to be able to see how it goes in the oven.
Yeah, let's well, I'm gonna get more wine then.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So what do you think? Is it easy for people that are absolutely never cooking, like on the I mean, to me it's quite easy, but I don't know, what do you think? Is it for everyone, the quiche?
I feel like, you know, if you don't make the dough yourself, then it's super easy because mean that basically you're just whipping eggs, and like putting it together. But even as you've seen, the dough takes like about 10 minutes to be made. So it's not like it's going to be very, very complicated.
Mm. Well, apparently we're not alone, Lola. There is Patte. Woo! So that's great. Yeah, and then after that, yeah, there was also Tabitha telling me that apparently this tofu, the silken tofu, is you can find that in US. So if you're vegan and you don't want to put any egg or cream, you can definitely use that. Just that with the vegetable, doing your own crust with no butter, but with another oil, for example, or any type of fat, and replace everything in the quiche with this, and that will work perfectly. So if you don't eat egg or milk for any reason, you can use that.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea, yeah. And also you can make the dough, if you want it to be vegan, using margarine instead of butter. Once again, you just need it to be room temperature, and afterwards it's fairly simple.
What about gluten-free? Do you think it's easy to make something? Have you ever tried to do with rye flour or with any type of other flour? I never.
I've bought the pre-made dough gluten-free for my friend who did not were not able to have gluten, but I've never made it myself. I feel like some of the flour that do not have gluten maybe a little bit, will absorb a little bit more humidity. So I guess maybe you would have to make sure that the water that you have a little bit more. But to be honest, the good thing with pâte brisée is that it's basically the butter that is holding everything together. So I guess it's something that you could try.
Yeah. Okay. So whatever flour will work probably with the good amount of butter and the good amount of water and butter. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. So actually, Marie, I'm joining you also with a
here we go. Cheers. So what do you drink?
So what am I drinking? Actually, I think, you know what, let me check the bottle. I don't even know what I'm drinking. This is a Côte de Nîmes. Sorry. So yeah, I'm going for red tonight. Don't have a lot of white at home right now. As I was telling you, I do not want to go out to get something, just for cooking one recipe. So that's why I'm getting, all the bottles that are left in my cupboard, basically.
That's great. But on my side is easiest because I can be delivered. So because in Paris, even during the lockdown, you always find good wine. So yeah, one every 2 weeks, I have someone that is coming with a little bike and getting delivered some bottles. So that's great, with a mask and everything, of course. But
good delivery system.
I can give you his number if you're interested.
Definitely, yes.
Tabitha is cooking with her family and brother and wife, the white brother, and they are in France. So that's great. So that's us plus them. So everyone is cooking together. Perfect. So I think for me it's already the time to just add a bit of Comté on my pie. So, and then I'm gonna just push it, so it's going to be a gratiné at the end.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, for me, there's 7 minutes left. So because there is no cheese in mine, I need to make sure, that it's cooked through, so it has a nice color on top. That's why. Okay. All right. I don't know if you know that, Marie, but actually for a very long time, the quiche was sort of like the dinner, that the housewife would do when there was not a lot of thing that she could do. It was actually the sort of
all the things in your kitchen. You just mix it up, right?
But even making the dough, usually like the origin of the quiche was basically when the cook was making, the bread for the week. There was always a little bit of bread left, so they would actually flatten it and then use everything that they had, left on the farm. So at first there was actually no bacon in the quiche Lorraine. It was only the egg and the creams, because obviously, if you were at a farm, you had chickens and you had cows, so you could get those very easily. And it's afterward, during the 19th century, when people started getting a little bit richer in France and also in Alsace-Lorraine, that they started adding the bacon inside. And yeah, the reason why we start having the quiche Lorraine all around France is because of the Prussian and French War of 1970s, when Alsace-Lorraine was invaded, and so a lot of people from Lorraine decided to flee all throughout France, and that's how this quiche arrived in Paris also.
Can you hold that for me, please?
Sorry, I did not hear you.
I say, can you hold it for me, please?
Oh, wow, it looks beautiful.
Thank you. Okay, so I did push my, thank you so much for the history, by the way. I think, yeah, the Prussian were also, I mean, the croissants are coming from the same time, right? I mean,
yeah, I think roughly about that time, yeah. So there is actually quite a lot of things that comes from wars, you know, bad things, obviously, but also good gastronomy things.
But it's funny because, yeah, in a lot of countries they have German bakery, and for me it was like, what, the Germans, they can do, you know, like they could bake. And then I realized, yeah, actually they started it, and we kind of stole their ideas and put more butter in it. And so, yeah.
You know, what I like to say is that in France, we don't invent a lot of things. We just know how to make everything better.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Why not? Yeah. We did the same with the Italian gardens, right? When the Italian
exactly, yeah.
Gardens. Anyway. Okay. So my quiche is now in the oven, and I did push to 200 Celsius. So I think it will be, yeah, whatever, 400 maybe in Fahrenheit. Anyway, something quite high, so it's gonna be really a gratin. So something, yeah, I think you probably know. And yours is always the same, right?
Yeah, I'm staying at the same temperature because, as I was telling you, we don't have any cheese in the quiche Lorraine. So because of that, you know, there's not going to be any gratiné, like any melting cheese inside. So I just want to make sure basically that the eggs and the dough cook through. So that's why I'm leaving it for now at 180 or 370 Fahrenheit. And yeah, we're about 4 to 3 minutes left on our timer. So we're soon going to have a very, very good quiche to eat.
And so, Lola, you did another video on crepes, on cakes, right? So you're kind of an expert on that too. Is there another video you have in mind that we will discover, or something you want to do in live, or do you have any ideas?
Yeah, I mean, there is another French recipe that I did that I hope you're going to be able to see soon, which is the French toast recipe.
Oh, that's great. So can you tell us a bit more? And maybe some of you, if you don't know what is a French toast or you want to do it, you can ask now the question to Lola, and she will answer probably now. So tell us more.
So yeah, the French toast is, it seems something, you know, it has French in the name, so it should come from France, but obviously, like any good story, it's not. Yeah, I know. It's also maybe the first way that you learn about toast, French toast, was not under that name, at least not in France. We call it pain perdu. So yeah, pain perdu translates to lost bread. So literally means that all of the bread that you had that was going stale, you would reuse it. The reason for that is because for people, you know, throwing away food was just not possible because they had obviously quite a lot of problem, you know, with money, but also it was something to do with religion, because as you know, in the Catholic religion, the bread is supposed to be the body of Christ. So throwing away good bread was not something that they could do. So that's why they would reuse it in another way. Once again, using just the basic thing that they had at home, which at first was just a little bit of egg and milks. And afterwards, when people started getting a little bit more money, they could add also a little bit of sugar into it.
That's awesome. And so it's very simple to make. And so what do you need? So a bit of egg, a bit of sugar, and the bread, right? And what, because in the restaurant they're using brioche, right?
Yeah, that's if you want to be very, very decadent. So I like
decadent.
So I prefer using baguettes because I like my French toast to be super crunchy. And obviously on baguettes, you know, you have quite a lot of rind on it. We call it la croûte in French. And because of that, you know, even if you get quite a lot of milk inside, it still makes sure, you know, that you have this very, very nice crunch, and it caramelizes quite a lot, which I like a lot. What do you prefer in your French toast?
I think I love the decadence, you know. So I will go maybe with a brioche. I'm like you. I like when it's like crunchy, but I don't know. I just like the fact that there is already sugar in it. So probably something with a big slice, but a very big slice of brioche. Not too eggy. I don't like when there's too much egg into the recipe. And probably with salted butter caramel.
Oh,
That would be my perfect toast.
yeah, but that means also that's something that we should do, you know, after the quiche. That's maybe a little bit heavy, but that sounds amazing.
No, that's gonna be too much for, I think, for after this quiche. Yeah, it's gonna be too much. But for another video, I will love us to do that. And okay, so that's another thing that we didn't invent it. The French didn't actually have the French toast. Oh, that's very sad to know. Okay.
We're very good at making it as well.
So I'm just gonna check mine. Do you check yours? Are we? Oh, maple.
I'm going to check it, but I feel like it needs a little bit more cooking. So I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah, mine is almost ready. So, okay. So maple syrup. Yeah, that's actually good. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it's not too sweet. We will see. But we have to come back and see the French toast recipe, the French toast video. So. And okay, so what do we have here? So Susan is cooking also. That would be great if you can send us some pictures of your quiche, maybe on our, on our email contact at myprivateparis.com, and so we can just collect them, and that would be great to have your pictures of quiche, and we can maybe do like a little folder with all of them to show that. And so Lola, you're back. So how is your quiche?
Starting to cook. We have the appareil, that is starting to cook, but we need a little bit more browning. So I also upped the temperature just a little bit, 200 degrees Celsius, 400 Fahrenheit, I think that is roughly. And we're just going to wait for it to be a little bit more brown. So yeah, usually how long do you keep your quiche for, Marie?
Usually it's in the day that I'm eating it, but I would say no, but in reality it's sometimes it's even better the next day. So I mean, for tonight I'm probably gonna eat a part of it, and we'll see for tomorrow, but I think 3 days will be a max, in the fridge. The do and the don't is the microwave, because the problem with the microwave is your quiche is going to be soft, like all the crust will be just like, so for me, I will just, sorry, but put back the oven, or just eating, to me, I can also eat it cold. That's really what I do, especially with the vegetable ones. It's really good cold, with just a bit of salad on the side. So so I will probably do that tomorrow. Tomorrow for lunch. So what about you? Do you think a quiche Lorraine and a vegetable quiche are holding the same? Like is yours going to be good in 2 days, for example, or?
I feel like maybe I should eat mine a little bit faster, since there is meat inside, and you don't want to leave the meat for too long. And also, I'm not sure I would eat it cold. But yeah, I totally agree with you about the microwave. Obviously, if I'm in a rush and I cannot do anything else, I'm going to put it in the microwave, but I would always prefer putting it into the oven, because that's just going to allow, for the crust not to get soggy. And yeah, soggy crust is sad, in my opinion.
I'm here, I'm listening. I'm just...
No problem. And what about you guys? What are you putting inside your quiches? Are you doing the traditional quiche Lorraine, or are you using your vegetables at home?
Maybe they don't want to,
spoilers.
One of us. Maybe they won't say. Okay, I think mine is pretty good. Can I show you that?
Ooh, I want to see now.
Okay. So, okay, maybe I'm gonna put myself under the light, and this will be better. So. You can see it.
Wow. Yeah, it looks very, very good.
I'm gonna find a nice plate to show you that directly to the. I love spinach and mushroom. Oh, I like that too. Spinach and mushroom. That's very good. Another one that you can find a lot in the bistro in France is goat cheese and spinach. That go very well together. Also salmon. So the same thing, so spinach and goat or spinach and salmon. Yeah, that would be kind of the typical French quiche that you can find. And also the 3 cheeses. So with a bit of blue. I almost did that tonight with a bit of blue cheese, but I don't know, didn't have the time, just put Comté, but I was thinking about the blue cheese as well. Quiche here. Okay, so we have Teresa that loves spinach and mushroom, but Jessica is making the quiche Lorraine, and but usually she's doing a veggie quiche, so tonight she's doing the quiche Lorraine. And okay, so yeah, do you have any other ideas of different type of quiche? You wanted to do one with leeks, I think?
Yeah, exactly. That's one that I do quite a lot, leeks. Usually I put some blue cheese as well in it. I think it's pretty nice with leeks. And also, I love blue cheese, so I think it goes with everything.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Oh, do you make often the quiche with onions, Marie?
In this one, I did add a little bit of onion, but just as more as the just to put the taste. But you're right, we could do that also with just onions, but I never made it because I'm just too afraid of not doing it right. And I love onion quiche. So yeah, if you have a good recipe for me, I will be very interested.
Yeah, well, usually I just, cook the onion for a very long time and use just a little bit of, balsamic vinegar as I cook them, just to make sure that they start caramelizing with the sugar that is inside of the onions. And that way, it tastes very, very, very good. And you can add some, more cheese inside if you want, or you can have it very simple. This is my usually go-to quiche when there's literally nothing left in my apartment to eat.
Yeah, no, it's true. You can put everything. And actually, we have another idea here. Dana is doing with shiitake mushrooms and vegan sausages. It's funny because I just love shiitake and I couldn't find any because probably of the lockdown. So I did with mushroom, but originally I was thinking with shiitake, and I do have vegan sausages also at home. If some of you they don't know, I will show you where they are. Some of them. And I'm using them a lot to do other recipes, so they're very convenient if you don't eat meat. So it's really like any sausages, and it's made with wheat protein. So it's so if you're gluten-free, it's not for you, but so if you're vegetarian or vegan, that could be a good idea. I'm doing also pizza with those. It feels like having meat, but yeah.
It's a very good idea as well. This way you have a load of protein, but this way it's not animal based. So that's a very, very nice idea.
Yeah, it's good to have just different ideas, different choices, depending on what you want. Okay, so ooh, it smells so good. Okay, guys, so now
I'm gonna go check on mine.
Yes. So if you have any other question, we're gonna be that's going to be kind of the end of our video because that's it. So we are presenting our beautiful quiche. So this is mine here. So for decoration, you could add also some seeds, for example, courge. So in here, so it's a butternut seeds, or maybe, I don't know, whatever type of seeds, sesame, something just to put, some color in it. That's also a good thing. And that's adding also a little bit of crunchiness into it. So I just love it. So Dana is asking me if I live in Paris. I do live in Paris. Beautiful apartment. It's not mine. It's a friend that actually offered me to stay here for the time of the lockdown. I will love to have an apartment that big and with this kitchen. That's lovely, but it's not the case. But yeah, I live in Paris. I'm in the Le Marais district. I don't know if you've ever been here, but it's in central Paris. And right now, this place is more located in the left bank. So now you know everything about me. What about you, Dana? Can you tell us where you're from? Okay, so what are you doing now, Lola? Explain us.
All right, so let me come back to you. I'm just putting the quiche to brown a little bit because our dough is cooked, but our appareil is still a little bit white. So I'm just waiting for it to get, you know, this beautiful brownish color, but I don't want it to burn. So that's why I'm like doing quite a lot of coming back, making sure that we don't have a burn quiche, because that is not what we want.
I'm coming also just in a minute. I'm picking some things. So,
let me go check one more time.
I was telling you about these and those. So these are little seeds I'm gonna add for the decoration, and you can really add whatever you want on it. But I just love my quiche to be pretty. So it's like in the cake when you just add those little sparkling stuff. That's the same for my quiche. I like when it's beautiful. And in that case, I don't know if you're gonna see.
All right, guys. So this is my quiche. I decided to take it out of the oven now, even if it's still a little bit clear, because my dough is starting to brown quite a lot. So it's okay in terms of color. It's mostly just color, the top, but I just want to make sure my dough is quite good. Whew. That is very, very hot.
Looks really good.
Wow, it looks very, very good. I'm just going to try to put it on my plate.
Okay. I actually did that off the camera just in case, you know, I was doing it wrong. So and I've cheated it here. Well, thank you, Patricia, for following us. She's saying thank you so much. That's very nice. Dana, you were supposed to be in France. Oh, I'm very sorry, and we hope to see you soon. And thank you for We Love Paris. We love Denver, Colorado, even if I've never been there. But we also, you know, thinking a lot about US right now. Oh wow, that looks so good. I was too lazy to make the crust today, but next time I will do.
So yeah, as you can see, I'm not going to remove the wrapping paper, the parchment paper straight away, because I just want to make sure that it has time to cool a little bit, because otherwise it's going to start falling apart, basically. So yeah, I'm very happy to have been with you guys. Thank you so much for
we need pictures. Send us. Please send us.
Right. I need to take a picture.
Yeah. So guys, I mean, we're gonna do also pictures of us, Lola, obviously. But yeah, for anyone who came here tonight, just post us on our website, just take a picture, or on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you want. Tag us, and yeah, and it was really fun to do that with you guys. Making a picture of Lola right now. Right. And yeah, so we're gonna have a delicious moment eating that. So, but thank you, Lola, and I hope
having me.
Yeah, I hope to see you soon, in a real life probably. But before that, maybe with the French toast or any other video. I mean, I'd be very interested to share another moment like you, like here with you. And yeah, and guys that follow us tonight, thank you so much for being here and for your support, and come back to see another video soon, I hope.
Thank you so much, guys, and thank you, Marie, for everything, and I hope to be sharing a quiche with you very soon.
Yes, well, thank you. So we have thank you from Thomas, from Dana, from Maureen. Can you tell us what seed you placed on the veggie quiche? I will try to show a little zoom. So here I put just this one here. You can see like a brown. So this is from pumpkin. Oops, sorry. It's a pumpkin seed, and here those little ones also here. Those one are from, how do you say that? Tournesol. How do you say that? I don't even know.
Sunflower.
Sunflower. Okay, sunflower seed and pumpkin seed. So that's the one I put. That's why I have kind of the same color as the broccoli, because those are like kind of brownish, greenish, and the other one are lighter. So that's what I had. So Jean Tudam is asking us if we can send that to them, emailing the quiche. Yes, we could, maybe one day, but thank you, Jessica. You think it was fun, and thank you, Dana, again. Thank you so much. Have a delicious quiche at home and enjoy your evening, and see you soon. Bye, guys.
See you soon. Thank you.
Ciao.